What if the secret to one of the world's oldest civilizations wasn't its brilliant leaders or its powerful armies, but the actual ground they walked on? Yeah, we're going to uncover that secret right now.
See, history, it's not just written by people. It is literally carved by mountains, shaped by rivers, and dictated by the wind. And today, we're going to see exactly how the land itself was the real architect of ancient India.
Now look, this isn't just some cool thought experiment. This is the ultimate challenge. I'm talking a real question from the brutally competitive UPSC exams in India. This is the kind of thing that stumps even the absolute brightest. But today, I'm giving you the formula to crack it, step by step.
So forget a boring agenda. This isn't that. Think of this as the secret cheat code. Just 3 simple steps that connect all the dots between geography and, well, destiny. First, we'll define the battlefield. Then, we're going to connect the land to the people. And finally, we deliver the final undeniable verdict. You ready for this?
All right, welcome to Act 1, The Crucible. This is where we meet the main characters of our story. And no, I'm not talking about kings or queens. I'm talking about the powerful elemental forces that literally set the stage for an entire civilization.
So what are these geographical factors anyway? Well, it's pretty simple. They're just the physical features, the climate and the natural resources of a place. Think of them as the basic rules of the game, rules that everyone who lived there had to play by.
First up, we have the mountains. And we're talking about the mighty Himalayas. These weren't just a pretty landmark, okay? They were a massive natural wall, a formidable barrier guarding the subcontinent from those freezing winds from Central Asia, shaping its entire climate, a protector and an isolator all at the same time.
And then you've got the rivers. The Ganges, the Indus, the Brahmaputra, these were so much more than just water. They were the lifeblood of the civilization. I mean, their valleys cradled the very first settlements, their rich soil fed millions of people, and their currents, those were the original highways for trade and travel.
And those rivers, well, they created the vast Indo-Gangetic plains. And this wasn't just some boring flat land. No, this was the cradle of society. The soil was so incredibly rich, so perfect for farming, that it built the agricultural backbone that let tiny villages grow into towns, and those towns to explode into empires.
And finally, the monsoons. Don't just think of these as rainstorms. Oh no, they were the unpredictable, all-powerful gods of agriculture. The entire rhythm of life, when you plant, when you harvest, when you celebrate, it all depended on their arrival. They literally held the power of life and death in their hands. Okay, on to Act 2, The Forge. So we've met our main characters, the mountains, rivers, and monsoons. But the big question is, how do they actually build a civilization? How do they hammer and shape everything from the economy to religion? Let's dive in. So, how does a piece of land build an economy? It's actually a super direct line. Check this out. Those fertile river valleys, they produce so much extra food that not everyone had to be a farmer anymore. And that kickstarted specialized crafts and trade. Then you have the long coastline, which was basically a giant open door for sea trade with huge players like Mesopotamia. And the mountain passes? People think of them as barriers, but they were actually the crucial gateways to the legendary Silk Road.
And this is where things get really political. Just look at this breakdown. You've got rich natural resources like iron ore. What does that lead to? Well, better tools and weapons, which directly fuels the rise of massive empires like the Mauryan and the Gupta. Simple cause and effect. And where do the first big cities like Mohenjo-Daro pop up? Right on the banks of rivers, the natural hubs for trade and power. See, geography wasn't just giving suggestions, it was practically drawing the blueprint for who would rule. But it goes so much deeper than just money and power. Geography shaped the very soul of the nation. I mean, think about it. Those serene, massive landscapes, they practically invited deep thinking and introspection, which helped give birth to world-changing philosophies like Hinduism and Buddhism. The fact that there was tons of stone and marble, that's why we see such breathtaking art and architecture. And the raw, life-giving power of a river like the Ganga, it's no wonder it inspired a kind of religious reverence that's still alive today. And that brings us to our final act, the verdict. We've laid out all the evidence. Now, it's time to deliver the final judgment on the land's incredible, lasting legacy.
So here's the bottom line. This is the core of the entire answer.
It is absolutely evident that the geographical landscape of ancient India played a pivotal role in the development of one of the world's oldest civilizations. The mountains, the rivers, the plains, they weren't just the backdrop, they were the architects of destiny. Which leaves us with one last big question, and this one's for you. After hearing this whole story of adaptation, of creation, what do you think? Did the civilization conquer the land, or did the land ultimately create the civilization? I really want to know your take. Drop it in the comments below.
Hey, if this completely opened your mind, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, because we have so many more jaw-dropping insights just like this one coming your way. You're not going to want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out with me.